Imagine this, it's 2007, everyone is attached to the Nokias, Blackberries or other PDAs they're using. Then Steve Jobs comes on the podium and announces a new type of phone. The world was shocked to see this revolution of a handheld. The very first iPhone was introduced with a 3.5-inch display, which was already bigger than most Nokias at that time. But that's absolutely nothing compared to the monstrosities we take with us today every day. We're talking about 6.1 inch of screen, 6.5 inch of screen. The newest iPhone 16 Pro Max has a 6.9 inch of screen size. That new Huawei thing has a 10.2 inch of screen size. Why are phones becoming bigger and bigger over time? Why do we need these very big phones today? Can we just have something smaller? Why do we always have to go bigger, wider, double screened or even triple screened? Why do our little big addiction filler PCs have to compete with the weight of a cruise ship? Not literally, of course. Now, the answer might seem quite logical, but there is way more that is playing in here. There are some really good reasons behind the fact that phones are becoming bigger and bigger over time. Oh, and at the end of this video, I'm going to give you some tips on your next phone. This is my old phone. I was about 11 when I got it back in 2016. This is my current phone. Notice any difference? Yeah, of course, look how much bigger that modern device is. But what changed more over time? Back in the old ancient times of mobile phones, we went about and around with our Nokias. A simple yet mind-blowing device that was strong and able to call your acquaintances and loved ones via an interconnected system and message them using a technique called SMS. Oh, and you could also play Snake. Yeah. Those were the main features of a phone basically. Imagine giving such a feature phone to a kid nowadays. Anyway, you didn't expect much more from it, so you didn't need the newest chip in the market. Psst. By the way, you still don't need the newest chip. As the phone, and especially the smartphone, begin to develop into a device that can handle more than only that, we see a definite need to make more room for bigger chipsets and memory. But those slabs of silicon also need to be cooled down at some point. You don't want to cook an omelette on your phone after some hefty gaming, right folks? I mean, that's just nasty. So a bigger phone needs more contact with the area around it so it can be cooled off better. But do you know what we also do a lot today with our phones? Indeed, taking photos and videos. Just a few years ago, we would slap a small, tiny camera lens on the back of our phones and it looked like this. But the problem is, it is very hard to make any good photos and videos with such a small lens. This is because the bigger the sensors behind the lens are and the more detailed and colorful the end result looks. That's why the lens of actual cameras are really big. Phone cameras have increased a lot over the years. Making videos for social media has become so much more important over the years because people like to make good videos and photos with only their phones as their main camera. In addition, you cannot switch the lens of the camera of a phone. For example, for macro or for ultra-wide, which results in multiple cameras on the back of a phone. For example, mine has 3. All this requires a lot more space on the phone, so we need a bigger phone for you to make better shots. But that's not all. We do much more today with our phones than ever before. So that requires a much bigger screen. Hey, you still listening to me? Anyway, we use our phones day in, day out, whether it's checking emails, planning out a route, or just to scroll through social media. Yeah, I see you. This all works better when you have a bigger phone, when you have a bigger screen to work with, right? It just makes the entire device so much more useful. Content will be shown in more detail, the phone feels more alive, you can multitask on an Android. If you really want, I don't know. This surely is a thing people really like to have today. But it will make your phone bulkier, heavier, harder to use with only one hand. You should see for yourself what you prioritize. A better phone experience or a more convenient one. Still, it is very impressive what a slim piece of partial silicon is capable of, and it all fits inside your pocket these days. Those chips, cameras and screens also need to get their food somewhere, like you do. Eat healthy. A bigger phone means there's more space for a bigger battery, so you can continue to use it for longer. Since the smartphone is doing much more than ever before, it also has to eat a lot more power to last for the entire day. However, possibly, maybe in the future we're gonna see nuclear batteries, and since they deliver much more power per storage space than modern day batteries can possibly get to, we won't be needing the extra space anymore. So we can use the new space for more stuff like bigger chipsets or more memory to make our lives even more smart, I guess. So, should you buy a bigger phone? Well, maybe. If you prioritize battery, productivity, possibly a better camera, and watching content, I see you, then get a big phone. Remember, battery life is important, so you can stay longer in contact if needed. For example, kind of a bold example, it's nice to have a long battery if you have to call emergency. If you want to use it with one hand only, go for something smaller, suitable for everyday tasks. Are you considering a new smartphone? There are 4 things I would look out for: a long battery life, long software updates, screen size, and budget. Most new smartphones from big brands have powerful enough chipsets, so you don't need to think about that for too much. If you want to buy a refurbished phone, then look at the warranty, any remaining phone damage, still available software updates, and a long, maybe replaced battery life. Just take into consideration whatever your goals and needs are. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to watch this video here of all the tech I use as a university student, and I'll see you there. You're supposed to click it. Come on, give me some more watch time, please. I need it. I want to get monetized. And make sure to subscribe, you know? Just click those buttons, please.